What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is too big. Now, what I mean by that is literally too big of a world. Too much to do, too many collectibles, too big of an open world, literally, like when you're free roaming. That's the idea, not too many movies, nothing like that. And it's a tough question. I think there's a lot of validity behind it. I would say even from a personal perspective, and I even said this, I believe, in my review in progress of the game, where the biggest weakness I do think I have of this game is it's kind of too full. It kind of comes across too big all at once, and I think there's a little bit more you can go in that realm. So let me try to explain, as this video goes on. So I believe at its core, like when you're going around and you're collecting things, when you're interacting with things, it is a standard LEGO game, and it's still, I personally believe, like one of the best or the best it's ever been, okay? I believe the puzzles solving and the different, aspects of using different characters, say, in different classes to get a Kyber brick or whatever, or even the side missions, which are pretty fine, it's go here, do this one thing, just adds a little bit more to it. I think those in it of themselves are not bad. I don't think they take away from the experience, all of that stuff. There is a little bit more to that, though, that connects to the main experience that I want to get to, but I'll finish my main point. I would say the surrounding area is kind of the problem. And I guess what I mean by that is I just feel like it's too, full of space. Does that make sense? I don't want to upset people with my lack of words or, people not understanding what I'm trying to say, but I do feel like when you get to the different areas where, say, there's a Kyber brick and you're trying to get it, I think that in and of itself is fine. I think the idea, though, is that maybe these worlds are a bit too big, and so you kind of just feel like for a majority of it, like to get from brick to brick or side quest to side quest, you're trekking through kind of unnecessary land. Let's say that. Unnecessary. I don't even necessarily know if you would call it bad. It's just not necessary to be there. Now, this connects to the main story in an interesting way, and a couple of the people that follow me have reached out to me, whether it be in comments or in Twitter DMs, and I have noticed this, and I do think, again, this is a very valid concern. One of the things that's odd about this game, and I do think people are kind of picking up on this, especially the ones that have played, the past LEGO games, which is fair, is that it seems like the story, the actual main missions, have kind of been trimmed. I still think they're probably, again, in what they give us, I think they're probably better than ever, okay, in terms of what they give. But I do admit, playing through these episodes, and also there's some episodes I still haven't gotten to, and I've seen other people talk about them, there are legitimate areas, there are missions that people have vivid memory of the first time they played, in a past LEGO game, and in this one, whether it was an entire area that was a level and it's just gone, or whether it's a main mission that instead of 20-30 minutes is now 5 or 10, there is a clear cut there. And so I guess I would say this. I think that probably is the biggest issue in terms of, is the world too big? I think on its own, the world probably isn't too big. I don't think it's a massive issue in terms of, again, walking through, let's say, the unnecessary land to get to the more cool things, or to the puzzles, or to where you need to use a specific character to do a specific thing, or you're talking to somebody about a room or somewhere else. Those things are fine, but getting there is the thing that just, they kind of stretched it almost just to stretch it, right? I would say that on its own isn't cause for, this is just my opinion, I don't think it's cause for, massive, okay, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, the 5 points taken away are because of that. I don't think you have to go that far, but what I do think is maybe the more alarming thing, and this goes to the whole principle of, is a bigger game a better game, right? Just because you add more, just because you pad the time, just because you've made a lot of these planets now, right? 24 planets, you've made a lot of open worlds here, and maybe unnecessarily. Maybe you did not need to do that. What did that take away from? And I do think that's kind of the question I've seen people asking on Twitter, where it's like, don't forget, this game was delayed. Now, there were internal things, and there's, conspiracies out there. People don't really know the full story, but maybe they announced the release date way too early. They were never going to make it. But why was this game pushed so far? Why? I think the answer was probably to do this. probably to make the game so big, to give people so many side things to do in the game. And again, that's okay, but it could have resulted in crunch, it could have resulted in multiple delays, and it also could have resulted in taking away from the main aspect of the game. That's the thing I am slightly worried for, especially going forward. Make no mistake about it, or at least for me, I guess this is my own personal opinion, I play Lego games for that recreation of the, whatever they're trying to copy. So like when I'm playing Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, sure, have I spent lots of times getting Kyber bricks? Yes. Will I continue to? Yes, I'm going to try to get as many as possible. I will go back to the open world, but it's also kind of just the area of my life that I'm in, or the era of my life where I'm just, I'm willing to do that, okay? But the reason why I play this specific game, other specific games, is for the recreation. Let me see. And again, I think the quality is there. When they're retelling episodes 5, 7, 2, 3, I mean, just pick an episode, right? I do think what they give us is very high quality, easily the highest quality that they've ever given us. From the cinematics to the comedy is really good. The gameplay is very tight. I mean, I think it's phenomenal, okay? But the issue is, did they strip away some of that, which I feel like they did, and I think the evidence is right there. There's definitely areas where they've shortened the lengths of missions, they've shortened areas in general, and what did they replace it with? Well, they didn't replace it. I guess you could say, well, they replaced it with more episodes, because, because there's all 9 now, right? And they, I guess, created 8 and 9 from scratch, but did they also replace it with the open world stuff? And the answer is probably yes. That probably did take that number one spot of what should we do with this game. Maybe that took over more than the actual story. So, does it change my mind that I love this game? No, I still love this game. I'm still very, very happy with it. I don't know if I still believe it's the best Lego game ever. I don't think it's the best Star Wars game. I never did. But is it the best Lego game of all time? I don't know. I think when it's there, what is given to us in the moment is the best it's ever been. But there's questions, and I think, again, it's very, very valid. So definitely want to hear from you guys. Again, I've seen pretty conflicted thoughts of it online. Is the game too big? Would you rather have made maybe a smaller, like these worlds not be so big, and maybe add a little bit more to the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.